Hi, this is Dan Neal with the Wall Street Journal, and I am with Peter Horbury, who is the designer emeritus of Volvo and now the senior VP in charge of design for Geely Holdings, which is one of the big Chinese car companies. So what are we talking about in terms of the things that would distinguish a car as a uniquely and specifically Chinese inflected design?
One thing in China, very strong, in the Far East, is the face of the car. The face is important because the face will tell everybody the character of the car. You can't design a miserable looking car, nobody will buy it.
You're talking about the physiognomy, the eyes and mouth and nose.
In the movie Cars, John Lasseter, and I remember talking to him before the film, that we were discussing where are the eyes? And he and I both agreed that it's the windscreen. And he was quite right, he said logically that's what you look through. And I said, well, yes, it's the eyes is the windscreen, then the hood is the nose, and the grille is the mouth. The headlamps are redundant. But in China, in Japan especially, the headlamps are the eyes. So the windscreen is redundant. Well, then there's a complete difference in the proportion where the eyes, eyes, nose, mouth of a human face compared with the eyes, nose, mouth on what you'd think the Chinese or the Japanese would see as a face. But then animals play a huge role in Chinese life. The calendar is full of animals, the year of the rat, the year of the snake. And maybe they're seeing something else. Maybe it is that serpent or the dragon, because the juxtaposition of the eyes, nose and mouth, if they're the headlamps, is quite different from what we would see naturally as a human face. I don't know, but this is the sort of thing I'll be finding out.
In a place where they're going to be building and buying 30 million cars a year, the center of gravity will shift very soon. And so what I am interested in is what will the Chinese automotive vocabulary look like, and how far can it go? And will Americans buy it like Americans bought Swedish furniture in the 50s? I
think that the Chinese have a great opportunity here to bring all of this heritage, this beauty, this the sense of flowing lines of their architecture into the car in a different way. It still has to be acceptable around the world, but done from a different perspective. I'm sure we could bring something very interesting to the automotive world.
Traditional Chinese artisanship is very intensely decorative.
Yes.
From an engineering perspective, there is a tension between simplicity and clarity and decorative ornament. Also, I don't know if you can make a car seat out of silk brocade, as you might, to appeal to Chinese taste. There are some tensions to overcome.
Detail-wise, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, well, what would a dark red lacquer instead of walnut trim look like? I'm sure the Chinese would appreciate that. And I think it would sell elsewhere. And that's something, a direct involvement of a material that has been historically used throughout Chinese history could be brought in very quickly into a Chinese manufactured car, even a car that's a global car, even a Volvo, I suppose.
To be honest with you, you may have landed at one of the best jobs in the car business, because it's open territory, and these are very compelling questions, especially when you work on design on the unconscious level. As you say, the physiognomy of the human face and the animal face, how we recognize, how we impose our own schema, which are culturally determined.
It's often the subconscious recognition that's the most important.
By God, Peter, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
For the Wall Street Journal, I'm Dan Neal.